Welcome to BooTube, where the darkest tales are whispered and the truth waits in the shadows. Tonight, we close the week with a story of a game you should never play. The Midnight Visitor. Sam had heard about the game from a friend of a friend. The rules were simple. At midnight, sit alone in a dark room with a single candle. Place a mirror in front of you and knock 3 times. If the candle flickers, the visitor has arrived. It was supposed to be a test of courage, just another urban legend to scare bored teens, but Sam wanted to prove he wasn't afraid. At 11:58 p.m., he sat cross-legged in his room, the mirror propped against the wall. The candle flickered weakly, casting shadows that danced across the walls. His heart raced, but he told himself it was just a game. At the stroke of midnight, he knocked 3 times. For a moment, nothing happened. The room was silent except for the soft hiss of the candle. Sam let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding and started to laugh. But then the candle flickered. The laughter died in his throat as the room grew colder. He leaned closer to the mirror, his face dimly lit in the glass. At first he saw nothing but his reflection. But then, behind him, something moved. It was faint, almost imperceptible. A shadow shifting in the corner of the room. Sam whipped around, but there was nothing there. When he turned back to the mirror, the shadow was closer, just behind his shoulder. "Who's there?" he whispered, his voice barely audible over the pounding of his heart. The shadow didn't answer, but it began to take shape. A figure with no features, just a void where a face should be. It tilted its head, as though studying him. Sam wanted to move, to run, but he was frozen in place. The candle's flames stretched unnaturally high, casting sharp, jagged shadows. The figure raised a hand and the candle went out. For a moment, the room was pitch black, silent except for Sam's ragged breathing. Then, the whispering started. "You called me," a voice rasped, low and guttural. "Now, I'm here." The whispers grew louder, overlapping until they were deafening. Sam clawed at the darkness, desperate to find the door, but no matter which way he turned, the room seemed endless. The last thing he saw before the darkness consumed him was the mirror, now cracked, his own terrified face staring back at him, distorted, hollow, and screaming. Sam was never seen again. His friends found his room the next day. The mirror was shattered. The candle melted down to nothing and carved into the wall with 3 words. "You called me." Thanks for watching BooTube. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, some games are better left unplayed. Because once you invite the darkness in, it may never leave. Beware.